How to dye your polymer frame. The supplies needed are RIT dye, an old pot, thermometer, rubber tongs, and gloves. Make sure your frame is dry and clean of any oils even from your hands to avoid blemishes. Bring your water to a boil, add your bottle of dye, then try to maintain a temperature of 180 degrees to 210 degrees. Put your frame into the dye, and if it's not fully submerged, add water until it's covered. I used a separate pot to get some clean water up to temperature, so I can add to the dye water mix and fully cover the frame. This process does take about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the brand of frame and the color you're trying to achieve. Patience is key to good results. As the dye boils, it will open the pores of the polymer frame and slowly let the color seep deep into the frame, leaving behind a strong, durable finish that will only come off if it is gouged or scratched deep into the polymer. The good news is you can always dye it again and cover any marring, or to get a deeper color. Make sure every 5 to 8 minutes you are using your tongs to flip the frame and check the color. As you can see here, the color is starting to take hold and darken this coyote-colored frame. Be patient and keep flipping while checking the temperature. Don't let the water get too hot or let the frame sit on the bottom of the pan for too long. Otherwise, you run the risk of warping or damaging it. You are completely responsible for your own actions if you are negligent of these things. We're getting a little too warm at this point, so I adjust the heat lower. This dye can stain clothes, so be very careful and make sure you wear old clothes or something you aren't scared of ruining. Here I am flipping the frame and checking the color. I want this frame nearly black to match my slide. You could, of course, choose a different color of dye. Keep in mind you can only go darker from this point. You cannot dye a frame to be lighter than its original color. You must start out with a color such as flat dark earth. At this point, I've reached the color and saturation I want, so I'm going to cut the heat off and let it sit submerged in the dye for about 15 minutes with the burner off and allow it to soak up a little bit more color. Time to remove the frame and shake it off over a paper towel. Once you have most of the excess dye dripping off the frame, lay it down and put on your gloves. Gently rinse your frame in cold water to close the pores in the polymer and wash off any dye. Dry the frame off thoroughly with paper towels and a hairdryer. Make sure you remove any moisture before reassembling. Your end product will be a strong, durable finish with whatever color you want. Time to reassemble and get a final look. With a little time and easily accessible materials, we have a beautiful finish. Thanks for watching.